Hey there, how are you today? My name is Dana Damara, and you have landed on Astrocast. This is the final new moon in 2022. This is the New Moon Capricorn report. As someone who has Capricorn as their rising sign and has experienced so much energy shifting since 2020, as I'm sure most of you have in some area of your life, I am really excited to bring this report to you. This new moon Capricorn falling at the end of 2022, just before our Christmas holiday, is really a big deal. And if you haven't listened to the report for the weekly report, the 19th through the 25th, you could potentially go back to that and just take a little listen about all of the aspects happening, but I am going to review a lot of them. So first of all, this new moon in Capricorn falls on December 23rd, 2022 at 1:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Actually, it's 1:17 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, we don't see the new moon. The new moon is conjunct the sun. So basically, because of that placement, the moon, when we look up in the sky during a new moon, we don't see it, but the energy is really strong. And an energy around the new moon, the full moon, when planets shift, even the solstice, anything that's transitioning, for example, that energy starts to be felt a couple of days before the actual happening, right? So we have this new moon coming up on the 23rd, but we'll already start to feel the shift around the 21st, which is the solstice. Something I want to say about this energy as well. The Capricorn new moon is really close to the earth. So we've got not only Capricorn energy infused with a little bit of solstice energy, but we also have the moon really close to the earth. And so you are going to feel this energy of the new moon just a little bit more, right? So you can tell when we have a super moon, a super full moon, because the moon seems so much bigger in the sky. It's that same energy, but you just can't see it. So I hope that makes sense. I do want to show you the chart, and I will let you know that those of you, just so I don't forget, those of you who have purchased the new moon or the moon phase journal for 2023, the moon phase journal actually starts with this aspect, December 23rd, 2022, with the new moon. So I started it that way on purpose, knowing that maybe some of you would miss it, not having that journal at the end of the year. But you can always go back to it. And it's a really beautiful way to start off your new moon intentions, right? For the whole 2023. Oh my gosh, I'm going to keep chattering. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I think this is the one. There it is. All right. So this is so beautiful. And I talked a little bit about this in the weekly forecast as well. But I'll just talk a little bit about everything now. So this does make it a super moon because it's so close to the earth. It is at 1 degree Capricorn, which is down here, right? It looks like it's in Sag, but it's not. But look at all those other planets in Capricorn, right? We have Venus in Capricorn, we have Mercury in Capricorn, and we have Pluto in Capricorn. This is actually the second Capricorn new moon for 2022. The first one we had was back on January 2nd, right as the calendar year was beginning. And I say calendar year on purpose because, we made up calendar year. And there's so many other ways to follow the energy of the earth, but we did create this for certain reasons. That's a whole nother story. But just know that in this calendar year, we've had two new moon Capricorns, which means we've had a restart button with this energy of Capricorn. And because it's such because Capricorn is such a sign of, dedication and responsibility and, really building something that really lasts, like really taking the time to take one step at a time. That's Capricorn. This is setting you up. It's doing two things. One is it's asking you to look back on your year and really be honest with yourself and say, look how far I've come. What have I accomplished? What have I worked through? What have I healed? Whatever the theme of your year is, give yourself some grace with that, because it is important to remember that. And then it also is asking you to look forward at the new year, and I'll show you why. It's just astounding, actually. I'm trying to talk slow because I'm actually really excited about this. So we've got 4 planets, like I said, also in Capricorn, because the sun is a star, it's not a planet. But we have the moon, and then we have Venus, Mercury, and Pluto. Now, Pluto is at the last stages of being in Capricorn. And as someone who has Pluto in Capricorn in her chart, I'm stoked. I can't wait for Pluto to move out of Capricorn. But so this points to another chapter, right? Pluto's been in Capricorn for a really long time. If you think back to January 12th, 2020, when we had all of those, we had the full moon lunar eclipse, and we had Pluto, Saturn, Mercury, we had all those planets all huddled together. And then we all know what happened in 2020, right? Pluto's such a small planet, but it's at the precipice now of moving into Aquarius. Okay. So this is signifying a new beginning. And I will say this, the new moon happens just after the winter solstice on 12/21/22. So this new moon happens on 12/23/2022. So I say this, and I did say it in the weekly forecast, but I'll just reiterate it here. I know that this is a busy time for a lot of people, regardless of what religion or what philosophy you celebrate, right? Whether it's Hanukkah or Christmas or Diwali or whatever you celebrate, it's a busy time of the year, right? So what's really important this week is to actually be really quiet. And one of my teachers reminds me that this is actually a super quiet season. But we, as society, we're like, oh, we got to do this and we got to go here. So I'm not telling you not to do that, because I do it. I love Christmas lights. I love ice skating. I love all the things, right? But take some time to be quiet and try not to get caught up in the wave of things. Just be super mindful if you can, especially because the week starts off on the 21st with the solstice, right? And remember what I said at the beginning, this energy, when I talk about the solstice happening on the 21st, that energy starts to percolate. That's the word I was looking for earlier. It starts to percolate a couple days before. So don't get wrapped up, try to stay grounded, and just be in a place of receiving this energy. I'm going to show you a couple of the things that are really important and exciting, actually. So under the Capricorn New Moon, Chiron, okay, so Chiron is right here in Aries at 11° Aries. Chiron is going to go direct. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer, okay? So Chiron was abandoned at birth and then adopted by Apollo. He was abandoned at birth because his dad was like, you're ugly or whatever, just wasn't accepted. And he was abandoned and left behind and betrayed, by his father figure. And Apollo came in and adopted him, according to the myth. But what happens is, according to the myth, is that Chiron walks around, the universe, his whole entire existence, trying to heal this wound. But the thing with Chiron is that when he understands how to use that trauma, that healing, that wound as part of his purpose in life, well, he becomes quote unquote healed, right? So the wound never leaves. He just figures out how to use it. So this is Chiron, okay, in a nutshell. There's so much more about Chiron. I took a whole course on Chiron this year and it was incredible. So knowing your Chiron placement is really important, but the important thing to know right now is that Chiron was in retrograde, meaning it was moving backwards since July. So opportunities for healing, wherever your Chiron is, has been profound. Okay. Now Chiron's going to go direct on the same day as the new moon. Dun, da, da, da. Like, this is incredible, right? So this is really offering you a new beginning. It's offering you an opportunity to look back and ask yourself, I mentioned this in the beginning, what have I done to heal this year? What have I healed within myself? What relationships have I healed? You know, what have been my lessons this year? And give yourself some slack and give yourself some kudos, please, because sometimes I think we don't do that enough. We're just always looking for something that's wrong, right? But Chiron's like, maybe this isn't wrong at all. Maybe this is absolutely perfect. And let's use the energy. Okay. So look for that with this new moon. And then the other thing that's really, really powerful, where is that sweet Jupiter? Here it is, right here. Jupiter is at 0 degrees. So it's moving into Aries. Okay. And this is going to happen on the 20th, just before the solstice. So this is called the Aries point. Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac wheel. So when Jupiter moves signs like this, it's a big deal. So Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, knowledge, education, expansion, fortune, good luck, moves into the sign of Aries, which is, again, first sign of the zodiac wheel. So as we move into this this new moon Capricorn, the new calendar year, Chiron going direct, and Jupiter entering Aries, it's really a huge opportunity to completely let go of the past. Like, really saying to yourself, okay, you know what? I am so ready to just move into present moment and allow my present moment to create my life. I saw a little video the other day, and it was it just basically was reminding me that as we get older, right, we're not really getting older because we're old. It's because we're getting tired of carrying the past on our back. If we just lived in the present moment without a worry of the future or a rehashing of the past, we wouldn't spend so much energy in that. And again, whole other podcast. So let's just go back here so I don't get sidetracked. Okay. So really big deal, Jupiter into Aries. Like, this is really, really a big deal. And it's going to remain there for most of 2023. This is a year of independence. 2023 is a year of independence, innovation, new ideas, new beginnings, and all of this energy of healing, closure, new beginnings, all of that is encapsulated in this new moon. I'm not quite done yet, so this is really exciting, okay? Whatever seeds that you're planting for 2023 and whatever you're moving out of in 2022, please, 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 start to slow down a little bit. Like, just take some breaths, you know, breathe into the heart. Don't just, you know, be in the mind. It's not, none of that stuff is important. I know we think it is. We've been trained to like think that getting your cards out on time is important, and doing the cookies and doing the thing or whatever you do. None of that's important, guys. None of it. Creating your life in a way that's in alignment with your heart is important. Okay. Now the big thing here is, see Jupiter, where is it again? Right here. Oh, squaring the new moon. Now, when planets square each other, right? So when planets square each other, it creates a sense of tension. Now, tension isn't always a bad thing. It kind of forces us to take action, right? So take this as a sign to trust your instincts, to have faith in what's coming, to listen to your intuition, and maybe create something new in 2023, but you don't have to jump at it right now. Okay. And there's another reason why, because where are we? There it is. Here's Mars. Mars is in, where's Mars? There you are. Mars is in retrograde still, will be in retrograde on January 12th of 2022. Mercury goes into retrograde on 12/31/22. Okay. And will end around the 18th. So Mars and Mercury will both be in retrograde for a little while together. That's always fun. So just go slow. Just listen to the internal, I don't want to say dialogue, but I'm gonna, because that's the only word I can think of. Listen to the internal dialogue. Listen to your heart. Observe and be aware of what's going on in your life, what you're hurrying and scurrying to, where you can slow down, right? Like really remember to be in a moment, as present as possible, just without worrying about the future, without clinging to the past, without continuing to overthink and ruminate and all of those things. Like this is such a magical, magical, magical time for you to be able to truly create that life you desire, but you can't if you're like caught up in everybody else's stuff, right? So maybe, and before Mercury goes into retrograde, might be a good time to like clean off your computer, clean out your social media, do away with some things in your home that you really don't need anymore. Really just like clear the clutter, right? One other thing, I think there's one other thing there is. Let me pull this thing up here. We have, where's Venus? Okay, here's Venus. And Venus is trining Uranus and the North Node. Okay, so when Venus trines the North Node, this is Venus is abundance, money, financial flow, beauty, right? Sitting in the sign of Capricorn, trining Uranus and the North Node, which is about liberation, freedom, karma, inspiration, right? So this is a beautiful aspect. So I think if I had to encapsulate this aspect in one word, I might say surrender, because sometimes too, we get in our heads and we think we know everything, and really we don't know anything. We think we do, all of us. I have these plans and I'm going to do this and this is the thing. And I am all about, like, especially at the new moon or at the full moon, I'm all about, writing out my intentions, writing out what I'm releasing. I'm all about that stuff. I think it's such a gift to be able to set an intention and really create or co-create a manifestation board for yourself, right? Like, yes, but always right at the end of that, this or something better. I am open to what you have to provide me, sweet universe, because this is what I feel in my heart. This is what I desire. This is what I long for, but I'm so here for your being of service to you. So just put me on the path and then you can't fight about it. Anyways, I hope this has helped you. If you want your chart read for 2023, it's such a great time to do it. Reach out to me. You can reach me at dana@danadamara.com. And if you go to myastrocast.com, it will give you and put in your email. It'll send you a whole bunch of emails about what's your sun sign, what's your moon sign, what's your rising sign, how do I read my chart? And you can actually pull up your own chart. It might look a little Greek because it is. And then when and if I read your chart for you, it might make a little bit more sense. So if I don't see you, have a beautiful, beautiful holiday season. Remember to be quiet. And we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Have such a gorgeous day. Namaste.